Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about diarrhea and how to fix it. And I've helped many people heal from diarrhea. Diarrhea was probably my main issue. I had Crohn's and Colitis and IBS, and I can't tell you how many times I've crapped my pants in public. You know, sometimes it's just a shart where you think you got to fart, but then you fart and then not everything comes out, just like a little bit of shit comes out and it stains your favorite pair of boxers or whitey tighties. And sometimes you fart and it all comes out and just keeps, it's warm and it's disgusting. So I want to show you guys how I fix this problem so I don't crap myself in public anymore. And yeah, there's just a big misunderstanding on what's going on behind the scenes, and it's very easy to fix when you understand what the root cause of the problem is. So, what is actually going on? So if we talk to your stupid GI doctor, he's going to tell you, oh, it's genetic, which we all know is bullcrap. Oh, you need to be on immunosuppressants. It's your immune system, attacking you from the inside out, which we all know is bullcrap. We all know this is not true, but we still have no idea what's going on. And I'm about to show you what's going on. So, what is really happening is this is a significant biological special program. Everyone with diarrhea, everyone with Crohn's or colitis, if we look at their CT scans, they're going to have a ring-shaped formation in their brainstem where these special programs are controlled 100% of the time. This isn't up for debate. All of you guys who have chronic diarrhea, who've been diagnosed with IBS, Crohn's, or colitis, you're going to have a ring-shaped formation in your brainstem 100% of the time. And what this tells us is that you have a special program that's active, or it's stuck in a hanging healing. And I'm going to explain what these terms mean and what you're like, what are you talking about? I know, I am speaking a different language, but truth is stranger than fiction when you follow the facts. I use something called German New Medicine or German healing knowledge so we can actually understand what is going on in the body. You have to understand all the tissues in our body were developed for a very specific survival purpose. And when we experience a conflict shock, something that catches us off guard and threatens our livelihood, our body wants to survive and pass on its genes. So what it does is it activates one of our tissues that thinks is the best for handling this conflict and put in the conflict shock, bang, right here, everything's fine and dandy, and then you have the conflict shock. Maybe what's a conflict shock? I'm kind of tired of using my neighbor kicked my dog. Maybe my neighbor poisons my cat or something. My neighbor's actually a very nice guy. So I have no idea what he's saying. I'm American and he's speaking in Russian, so I have no idea what he's saying, but he seems like a nice guy. And let's say he poisons my cat and I find out and I'm angry. That could be experienced many different ways, but the morsel conflicts are for the digestive systems, and this can be a very general type of conflict. But it all depends on how the person experiences it. So for me, if that happened to me, I would experience it probably as indigestible anger. I'm angry that my neighbor poisoned my cat. The second I find out, bam, I get stressed out. My thoughts are racing. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I got to save my other cats from getting poisoned. Do I need to put up a fence? Do I need to go over there and punch him in the face? Should I poison his? My thoughts are racing on what I need to do to solve this problem and protect myself and my kitty children or whatever. This is this has a biological purpose. The insomnia, the cold hands, the cold feet, the fight or flight response is what am I going to do? Am I going to fight this Am I going to fight this conflict and resolve it that way, or am I going to run away and resolve the conflict this way? But if I experience as an angry, indigestible morsel, it's going to register on my colon. The ring-shaped formation is going to form, boom, right in the brainstem. And I'm going to get those sympathetic, those fight or flight response until this conflict gets resolved. It might take a day, it might take 2 days, it might take a week, it might take a month, it might be years, it might be like on and off for years. It all depends on the situation. But to help what's physically happening to my organs, or to my organ, to help me overcome this conflict, I cannot believe that my neighbor would do such a thing. To help me digest this indigestible thing in your life. It's in the language. In Russian, we say, I cannot digest that person. So what my body is doing, it's building extra gut cells to help me digest this indigestible thing, this thing I can't accept, this thing I can't absorb, this thing I can't break down. I'm building extra gut cells. So, and during this time, we don't have any symptoms. This is conflict active, and we do not have any symptoms, but we have the cell proliferation. Cell proliferation, I can't spell. And then when the conflict gets resolved, maybe I go over and I kick my neighbor in the nuts, and then, he learns his lesson not to do that. The conflict gets resolved, and now all of a sudden I'm going to get symptoms. Now I got to get rid of these extra gut cells. This is when the gut pain comes in. The gut pain, the diarrhea. Because I'm getting rid of these extra cells. Now, when this happens, what the average person does, they resolve one of these big conflicts, and they're eating something that day, because the average person eats like 3 to 5 times a day. They're always eating something, and they start getting tons and tons of diarrhea that just come out of nowhere. And they're not gonna. They have no idea it's because that they resolve this indigestible morsel conflict. They're going to start blaming the foods that they ate. They're gonna go, oh man, I always thought I was allergic to dairy. I think the dairy is causing this. The most easiest to digest and nourishing food on the planet. Oh, I think gluten's causing this. Oh, I think that causing it. Oh, and it's just huge. This huge long list of foods gets added to what we call something called tracks, or food tracks. If your subconscious believes that your symptoms are responsible, are responsible from these foods, then it's going to restart the program. You eat the food, you become conflict active for a little bit, it goes through your digestive system, then you go back into the healing phase. Another track could be just seeing your neighbor. So you're going through the healing phase, and you see your neighbor again, you get all emotional, oh, that asshole, and blam, you go back, and then you forget about him an hour later or so, and then you're back into the healing phase again. And this could go on for years. Wow. And then let's say you have like a hard conflict relapse where, you didn't kick your neighbor in the balls hard enough, so, he has the courage to get back on his feet and poison another one of your cats. Then you're going to be really angry with him, and you're plotting and scheming what you're going to do and how you're going to fix it for months, for maybe a month, and then you do it, and it resolves the conflict. Or this is not the most mature way to deal with this situation, I understand, but I'm just trying to come up with an example to kind of help illustrate this. But every time, I know some of you guys have been in relationships with your parents or a spouse where, 1 week you're best friends, the next week you're fighting, and the next week you're friends. Every time that you guys kiss and make up, I would expect symptoms. Oh, I can't believe my mom is being such a jerk. She won't let me do this. She won't let me do that. I can't believe my dad said this. He won't let me do this. He won't let me do that. And then when you guys go on that fishing trip and, resolve your issues, boom, diarrhea. Because you're getting rid of those extra gut cells you no longer need anymore. This is what's happening. So there are 3 things that I already told you what they are, but I want you to really, guys, to hone in on this and stop blaming energy and nutrients, vitamins and minerals for your digestive issues, because that's what we're doing today. We're blaming food for diarrhea. You got to realize that 100 years ago, you didn't have food intolerances because you didn't have a choice. It was you ate this or you starved to death. Now today, the soft pansies that we are, it's like, oh God, I'm allergic to milk, the easiest to digest food in the world. Smack that crap out of you. You're never going to get better if you believe that the easiest to digest and most nutrients-dense food on the planet is bad for you. You're just not going to get better. Because there's no food easier to digest than that. Your subconscious is scared to death of these foods because we watch YouTubers that are just harping, oh, this is so bad for you, this is so bad for you. Do not be afraid of food. I give you permission to eat these foods, but you need to truly believe that these foods are safe. There's different methods for doing this. You can make up a little Barney song or a lamb chop sing-along song about how this food is safe and good for you. Whatever, we just need to communicate. Maybe you could go see a hypnotist. There's 1,000,001 ways that things you can do to convince yourself that these foods are safe. One thing that I did is I just remembered back to the day where I decided, oh, peanut butter is bad for me because I had peanut butter on this day, and the next day I crapped my brains out. And then when I went back and I looked with this knowledge, I said, oh wow, on that weekend, I was in a big fight with one of my ex-girlfriends, and on that weekend we kissed and made up. And shortly after, I ate a bunch of peanut butter and got a ton of diarrhea, and it wasn't the peanut butter, it was resolving that conflict with my crazy ex-girlfriend. Some people, another example is one of my brothers. One night, I love Chipotle, guys. I love Chipotle burritos. They're delicious. One of the most organic health fast foods you can get. And I remember it was midnight one night, and I had like half of my burrito saved over from that day. And I was looking forward to it all day. Like, oh, I'm going to eat this burrito. It's going to be great. I'm going to watch a movie. And oh yeah, it's going to be great. So I go to the fridge. I grab my burrito. I heat it up. I go to the bathroom literally for 2 seconds. And I come back and it's gone. And I was like, where'd my burrito go? And I go, the only people in my house, there's my dog. And I know she didn't eat it. And there was my 2 brothers and one of their friends. And it was one of my brothers ate it. And I was so angry, like through the roof angry. And, I made their lives miserable that night. Like I shut off the internet. I changed the Wi-Fi password on it. I was so pissed off. And my brother had to make it up to me the next morning. He went out and he got me a bagel sandwich. It was a pretty douchey move on his part, but I'm pretty proud of the way I reacted to that situation. I was super angry. But again, moving forward, now every time that I see Chipotle, my mind is going to be reminded of this conflict I had with my brother. So I would not be surprised if every time I have Chipotle, I get diarrhea because I'm reminded of this I can't believe my brother, stole my food in the middle of the night. What a jerk. So that's another way to look at your food tracks. You could have tracks, just seeing your neighbor being a track, seeing your, what's a good example? Let's say so when you initially get the conflict shock, when it first happens, your mind enters a state of hyper-awareness where it picks up all the details in the environment, like the pollen in the air, whether there's cat hair, or, when you're holding, like imagine, like I find my dead cat, and I have my dead cat in my arms, and I see my neighbor. This is super dramatic. This is super dramatized. But, you know, I'm holding my dead cat, and my neighbor's over the fence, like, laughing at me. You know, I'm at, in that instance, like, maybe I'm all of a sudden allergic to cats. You know, there's a super traumatic experience in my life, and, you know, I'm touching cat hair. I'm breathing in cat pollen. Maybe there's pollen from the trees. I see my laughing neighbor. So, like, what are things in the environment that could remind me of these conflicts? Another thing it could be is maybe when someone does something to you, when someone makes you angry, that could. So for Crohn's and IBS, things that are in the small intestine, that's going to be indigestible anger. What is making you angry? When you're on the toilet and you have diarrhea, the best thing that you can do is ask yourself, what did I just get emotional about? What did I just get emotional about? But if you resolve a conflict, you're just going to have diarrhea for a few days. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's just part of the healing phase. You're getting rid of, instead of freaking out, go, I'm getting rid of my indigestible morsel. Isn't it beautiful? That's all you can do. And you know, soothe yourself like, hey, this is part of the healing process. I know it's not great. This gut pain sucks, but it's part of the healing process. Yeah, and then just be careful of those conflict relapses. So getting in a fight with the neighbor over and over and over and over again, getting in a fight with your mom or getting in a fight with your dad over and over and over and over again. You know, work on not allowing yourself to get emotionally off center. It's like a sign of weakness, especially in the modern world. We've just become such Nancy pants and we get offended by everything. You know, be that emotional rock. Be that emotional center. Stoicism. I think there's a book Marcus Aurelius wrote, one of the great emperors of Rome, like 10 Stoic traits. It's one of the oldest. It's like older than the Bible. It's a book that is even referenced to this day. You know, that's quite rare. And yeah, there shouldn't be, like, we have it so easy in the modern world. It's not funny. We're such a bunch of pansies. We have it so easy in the modern world, and I'm not discounting. Some of you guys have really gone through tough situations. I've heard some really nasty stories, but for the vast majority of us, we're just being little pansy bitches, and we need to just ignore this fluff that we're just afraid of. It's like, in my life, nothing really truly like that significant happened to me to warrant me running this program for that long. Like, I get mad at video games, like, you know, not like the stuff I was getting mad about is like dumb. Like, oh, my shirt isn't folded. Oh, I can't find my shoes. Oh, like the stuff I was getting mad about was just completely stupid. And that's what I see for the vast majority of people. But then people with Crohn's usually, or with colitis, it's an ugly indigestible morsel. So those are usually events that are more significant. They're ugly, deep, betrayal, nasty events, the further down in the colon it is. But that is what is causing your diarrhea. Occasionally it comes from like nasty spoiled food, but think about, it's your perception. Think about the stuff stray dogs and stray cats eat, man. That stuff is disgusting. Think about the stuff that sphaerage and those raw carnivores eat and vegans eat, man. That stuff is disgusting, and they're not vomiting that stuff out. They're not having diarrhea. It's coming out just fine. So, our digestive system, we're programmed to treat food as a rare commodity, and we're going to savor every last bite and bit of it. It doesn't want to flush it out unless it truly needs to flush it out, which is in very rare cases. So when you get diarrhea, it's not because it's trying to flush out bad food. It's because it's trying to flush out the garbage from the special program. It's trying to flush out, the cellular debris and the extra gut cells that we're trying to get rid of. That's what's going on. And this is German New Medicine. We're looking at it from a German New Medicine, German healing knowledge perspective. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you want to learn more, I have a ton of free videos on my YouTube channel. where you can learn this stuff. I have, for those of you who are serious and want to work with me one-on-one and in my group, I have something called the Rapid Gut Healing Program, and it comes with video courses, and I'm probably going to change it in a little soon, so that by the time you watch this, it might be a little different. But it comes with video courses. We have a Facebook group where I answer all your questions every single day, and then we have live Q&As twice a week where we get on a Zoom call and me or one of my coaches answers all your questions and make sure that you're headed in the right direction. So that's all I have for you guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It will help promote this video and save somebody's life, save them from their tyrannical GI doctor, that idiot. And all right, guys, good luck getting better, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.